I see the overall bear market, and I see no updates from El Jefe on the launch of Pulsechain. And I think those are the headwinds. One tailwind for us would be the super low liquidity. So if action starts going either way, it's really going to move the price.
Yeah, the price can swing down still, depending on market circumstances and what people that are end staking now decide to do. So if you believe in the project, it will be a good time to pay attention and maybe enter at a low point. If you don't believe in the project, just sell it now. We don't mind. I think I never saw a Ponzi scheme like X where the people that are in say to other people to sell at will. All the scam callers could try and post that information in.
I would think that anybody who sells now is just panicking because no matter what, you've already been wrecked. You might as well just stay in. Like, there's no reason to sell now. You're just already screwed. You might as well hold on.
Well, that might be some people that don't really believe it in X, and they really believe it might be a scam, and they are free to do whatever they want. But yeah, I agree that the majority of people that are actually selling just out of panic, or either because they only bought it, planning to get the copy and maybe dump it for polls or whatever.
Well,
and of course the earlier people, and the earlier people that just ended their stakes and they are looking to cash out now.
Yeah, but there's also different reasons, right? If you
Yeah,
bought
of
in the
course.
last 10 months, if you bought in the last 10 months, you're underwater right now. If you did buy in the last 10 months in the 40s or 50s, you just like may have paper hands and say, I'm done, I'm out, because they don't have time to develop the conviction of this thing bouncing back up. So I understand. I mean, sometimes it gets in the way, and people need cash for whatever their reasons are. Like, I just had to pay.
Yeah, true. But when you bought at 49% and you are 90% down, does it make any sense to sell now rather than just hold? If you already lost 90% of your value, why are you worrying about those 10% unless you really put in money that you could not lose? And I might understand that. Again, it means you just jumped into a project that you really do not understand.
Right, because the people that would do that are the people that got into Luna and didn't understand it. They may have gotten into HEX and didn't understand it. They're headline readers. That's all they do. That's their level of comprehension. So, they may be just scared, FOMO'd out.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I mean, I'm taking a look at all the small trades. There's a bunch of them, 500,000, 1,500 bucks. Sure sounds like breadcrumbers to me. And the worst thing is that if they would have bought in the 15 to 20 cent range and staked, they really wouldn't be down right now. They'd be getting a daily payout. Life would be good. But if you just buy this asset and hold it, hoping for a singular price appreciation, that makes the hill a little tough in a bear market.
And the best things are the early end stakes and the early end stake penalties that we have all been getting from anyone just trying to cash out right away. I was going to check the amount.
It was like 6.2 hex per T-share payout yesterday. It's been about 6.2 and up for the past week.
Okay, in terms of penalties, let me just check if this is for the day. Today is the 28th, no, 29th. Yeah, almost 2 million in penalties just for today.
You would have to put a freaking gun to my head to get me to EES and drop 2 million hex. Oh my. I mean, how bad does one situation need to be where you're penalized 2 million hex and you're at 90% off the ATH?
Yeah, I was trying to check my computer would help me.
But that's why the guys that are doing this don't even think about the ATH. They care about the ATL, right? Because they're sitting there probably fat, probably up hundreds of X's, if not a couple of thousand X, even at this depressed price point. That has to be the only reason or the only justification.
Yeah. I'm sure there are a lot of people still in profit. Again, I remember the first time I talked to some friends about the X price. It was a tenth of a cent yet, and they actually bought at 15 cents. So if they were really into the project, they would probably be buying by now. So 3 days ago, the payout was 6.4 per T-share. I think it was when we had that big dip. And 10 days ago, it was 6.69. I think I haven't seen a day below 5 in months now. Below 5, no, below 6.
Yeah, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and when I first got in, the payout was mid 5s to low 5s. So it's gone up just about a full hex per day or per T-share payout.
Well, we are right now on day 908. So let's say day 600. I believe it was around 5.8, more or less, except some bigger payouts when people would end stake early. There are some 7 days and 6.5 days, even a 9.5 day. Yeah, but it was around 5.8, I believe. The average then.
Truth be told, all these end stakes that are coming up in the next week or so, if the guys want to get out, I applaud them. Just get out before the launch, before the duplication. Get out. I'd rather you dump now than later.
Connor, do you have any question?
Pepe, how you doing, man? It's been a long time since I've seen you here.
Looking good. Feeling good.
Good, man. All your health stuff's still on the up and up.
So it's a long slog, man. There's just no getting around it. You know, can you recover fully? Not really, because you've got, you know, the not only physical aspect but the mental aspect. The anxiety is the thing that I'm not used to. It really is. And then the pace at which you're able to attack things. You know, you get half as much done in twice the amount of time. I'm not sure I can ever get used to that. And I find myself have to fighting that, you know. Whereas before I would just get up, set it up, knock it down. Set it up, knock it down. Now it's like, I've got that to do. I don't want to do it. So anyway, you know, I'm sure things will improve gradually.
Yeah, I hear you. I've never seen that side for like kind of where you're at the post recovery, you know, like the continued life side with any of my patients. So it's interesting.
Well,
I'll
tell you how serious it is. My attorney thinks that I should file for disability. That's the seriousness with which this has fundamentally altered my lifestyle.
You are talking about back pain you had?
It was a blood clot that caused a heart attack, and once you have a blood clot, you're quite susceptible to future ones. So you can't put yourself in a position to re-aggravate that thing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. I thought you were talking about the other day where you said you sprain your back doing something, but yeah, that's a bit worse.
Well, yeah, and so when your body's weak, right, the pain goes to the weakest part of your body, and with me, it's my back and heart. So there you go. You know, I've got double trouble. But for all those reasons, you know, my medical team, my legal team is saying, hey, A, you don't need to work. B, why in the hell are you working? C, if you can get disability, then you get a higher payout than Social Security up until the age of 70. So you'd have a good, you know, strong 4 years of better payout. So there, you know, there's some financial reasons for doing it as well. Not that it really matters in the end.
Do you have any tax advantages there if you file for disability?
You know, I don't know. I think it's treated just like Social Security. You know, it's taxable income. But I'm not
Because
planning.
here, if you have like 60% or plus disability, you don't pay any IRS. So any income that would be deducted above the minimum wage is returned to you basically every year, which is nice.
If you make too much money, I think 85% of your benefits are taxable. If you never make enough, nothing is taxed, or it's on a sliding scale.
I've just never taken anything from society. I've just always put it in to society. So for me, even though I'm eligible for full Social Security, I still haven't claimed it because my thinking was I might as well wait until I'm 70 and then get the bigger payout. But sure seems like it's an opportunity.
Well, I mean, if you worked all your life and you paid your fair share, I don't see what the problem would be. It's it's how the system is built, and yeah, if you have the opportunity to take advantage of it after all the hard work you've put in, it's only fair to do so.
Yeah, I see that point too. I really do. But I don't know. I just feel like delaying benefits would be the right thing to do. But time will tell. All I know is I'm not going to die standing in front of an oven. That's for sure.
Yeah, and also remember, like you said, right? Like there's no guarantee of any next day for any of us. So, you know, if your doctor said your health will be prolonged by you relaxing more, you know, definitely consider that.
Well, I have a feeling that whichever way it goes, the timing of that whole situation will likely coincide with the whole Pulsechain launch situation. And then I'll be able to tie a nice red ribbon around all of it.
Hell yeah. And Pepe, I decided to, I don't know, I think you've been here when I've been talking about like possibly making that YouTube channel with that's basically like I was gonna call it like the Pulse Stream or 1K Pulse Stream, where shortly after launch I put $1,000 in a Pulsechain and PulseX and make a YouTube channel that just follows that. Like what would what? And then, you know, like a year down the road, it'd be like, you know, people find it and like, what could you have done if you got in and just put $1,000 in at the beginning, you know, and just compounded since then?
What a great idea, Connor. I like that. I like that a lot. Of course, you would stake and show all those daily options, perhaps even compound daily, you know, and then delegate your pulse.
Exactly. And I was thinking that I do like a weekly or like every 2 weeks video, basically like an update of like, well, here's what we've done this week, blah blah blah. Here's what's changed. Hey, let's go do the buy and burn function or the burn function, so y'all can see. Oh, look, I got another 5,000. Sweet.
You know, you may want to tie it in with sound financial principles. It's sort of like the one thing that I really see lacking. I see, you know, pulling levers. Oh, do this, do that, don't do that, do this. But what I don't see is tying it back to the why. Why should you do this? Especially with a speculative asset class. You know.
Yeah.
Funding Jim is really the guy that I think probably talks about the high level macro 50,000 foot view better than anybody else.
Yeah, and that'll be the goal. It'll be like, I think with like PulseX, for example, I'll take like 60% of what you make on the third party staking. I'll put it back in, like I'll recompound like 60%. I think 10% or 20% I'll keep in the coin that I got, and then the other 20 to 30% I'll keep in stable. So, you know, I have that dry powder for if and when the market tanks a bit, you know, I can go in and recompound on my PulseX even more. You know, you get a 50% drop and I put in 30% of my gains over the last 6 months. You know, well, really, I'm like doubling or tripling my bag at that point. So I think there'll be a bit of that, a bit of strategy in there, like a bit of conservative, healthy strategy. Yesterday I made a video about liquidity providing, because in 3 of the pools, in the PLS USDC pool, the PLS incentive, and the PLS HEX incentive pools, I've been providing liquidity for the last like 2 months. So I just wanted to show everybody like the math behind, like, hey, are you positive or negative? How do you know? Is this worth it? Why you should or should not do this as like a small fish, and why the whales can do this without really worrying, because they don't really care about the 2 mil they put in there. They just leave their 2 mil in there forever and kind of live off the little bit of passive income that it brings. So stuff like that.
I love the idea, man. I wish you success and happiness, and sounds like you're passionate about it, and you certainly know what you're doing. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, and I'm all for technical education. I think that's what most people lack, and that's what most of us need.
You know, Funding Jim made a hilarious comment. I think inadvertently, actually. But you know, they were talking about, I think it was yesterday or the day before, they were talking about Richard and him bragging about, oh, I called the top on a day. The top on a day. Well, yeah, of course you called the top on a day, because you sold. So you knew what you did, and you probably triggered it. That's why you called the top on a day. And you called the bottom because that's when you bought. I think Jim was so funny when he was saying it.
Was it a recent stream?
Yeah, I think it was with Patrick and A-Bit, you know, and talking about charts and all the rest of this stuff. But yeah, when you're a whale and you're getting ready to dump, it's awful convenient to call the top, right? Oh yeah, I called the top on a day. Of course you did, because you know what you just did. It's fresh in your mind.
And that's why, like, it's all speculation here for me, but like why Rackham was saying, oh, I hope everybody's ready for launch, blah blah blah. I think one of the reasons was he wanted a little more liquidity in the pool for when he sold off a little bit. That's how I saw it, at least.
Yeah, I'm sorely disappointed in that guy. You know, the whole penny stock thing, and you know, blowing up at LFA, you know, blowing up at Funding Jim, and he even tried taking out my boy Dixon Piper. You know, saying it's financial analysts like you that you know destroy everything, and if I want you out of my way, I'm gonna move you.
Yeah, that sort of attitude only shows the person behind it. And again, it just makes us take a step back and really pay attention to what really matters. And instead of going with the flow based on what everyone else says, we should do our own assessment, do our own math, and go forward based on our convictions and no one else's.
Has there been chain analysis on his wallet or like his activity? Are we speaking for sure that he did dump?
Well, I have no clue if he dumped or not, and I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying based on the actions and words he has been putting forward the past months. He's just someone that does not, at least to me, show very confidence or someone that I can trust in.
And for me, it was never like, I can deal with the toxic attitude or like a billionaire being like an asshole, right? That's not a big deal to me. Like, whatever, do you, dude? But the biggest problem for me with him was when he was like, "Oh, I hope you're all ready. You better load up. You're never." And I think we were like 22 cents. We just broken 26 cents. You're never gonna see 26 again. You know, like it's only up from here. Get ready. I'm bringing millions. You know, some shit like that. And it never happened. And like right there, I was like, "Oh, dude, that is the lowest of the low right there, man. To get to like build people up and just nothing.
And even if he sold or not, just the way he put things and saying it multiple times, I think just made people lose more faith in him than anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, any like you go to the stock market, right? And you do any serious trading, and like you're a hedge fund manager or something, and you make those statements, it's a lot of trouble. You know, it's just like a new level of low to do something like that. I don't care you telling Motley Investor or anybody else to go fuck yourself. Like, cool, great, whatever. You guys don't like each other. I don't care. But when you do it to like intentionally hurt people, that's when I'm like, I'm kind of done with you, dude.
When it comes to the documentary, it's my understanding that he possibly put in like $500,000 towards the HEX documentary.
That was a
crypto, or is that just like the documentary team?
That wasn't him.
It was the God whale.
Yep.
Copy that.
It wasn't him.
Well, I know they interviewed him, so it's going to be interesting to see how much screen time he gets when this all plays out.
Yeah, I think I think the big problem is people are looking for affirmation and confirmation on others on what they should do, instead of actually going ahead and thinking for themselves. And that, at least that's one reason on why when people come here, we don't say what they should or should not do or what's best for them. We just tell them what is possible and the things they can do and what that will or the ramifications of their actions. But then they're free to do it as information, whatever they want, right? And that's how people should give information, not really tell people what to do, but educate them on how they can do it and the reasons why that might be good or bad. And then people should think for themselves which path they want to choose.
All right, guys, I'm at work. I'll see y'all later. Good talking.
See you later.
Good luck, Connor. Sounds like a solid plan, man.
Yeah, hey, Pepe, if you, this is kind of me fishing a little bit, but if you want, I could send you that liquidity providing video, and if you want to tell me like anything you think that I did was bad, or like, hey, do this better next time, I'd appreciate that.
Well, you can send it to me. I'm not like a liquidity provider at all, so I may not be best suited for that. But I'm sure there are others in here that likely do.
I would more so mean just like, is it entertaining? Like, could you follow it, or is it just like me droning on way too much?
But did you already made the video and posted it, or you just filmed just to test?
I have 3 videos that I've made before, and they're just like, one's just talking about the plan. One was just a clipped part from Richard talking about like, if you only need to get hex right, you know, like you're not an actor, you're not an athlete, but if you get crypto right, like that's how you're a millionaire, you know. And then this last one, like I actually put a bit of work into.
But are they public on YouTube or something like that?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
So hey,
If
Connor, you know
Sorry, I was
so
just going to ask him to just send me the link also, and I'll take a look if you want.
Connor,
that'd be great.
The look and the feel and the touch of it has to be like really high quality. So if you've got a shitty camera and you know a bad internet connection or whatever, and there's constant stuttering, no matter how great your content is, it's not going to make up for it. So the only thing I would say at a very high level is, you know, have some really high quality production value.
Yeah, I don't do any camera. It's mostly screen record and just math and stuff. But I hear you with the, you know, if eventually I get in the podcast and stuff, yeah, that'll definitely be a goal there. My mic is definitely a high quality though.
And the other thing that I would add is the insight that Dixon Piper added, which is, you know, you take a look at BitBoy. Not that everyone likes the guy. In fact, probably more of us dislike him than like him. But how he constructs his videos is fascinating because he's able to garner many, many eyes, right? And he does it by always talking about BTC, the price action, ETH, and then he goes into whatever he wants to talk about. But he sort of lures everybody in with the, you know, the headliner of BTC crashing or whatever, right? And he gets millions of eyes that way. But then he talks about at the end, like, you know, the XRP army, which is like his little personal favorite. He always adds that at the end. So you could sort of take a look at the formation of how he constructs his videos. Not saying to copy the guy, but it's pretty bright and intelligent that, you know, he would put his like love child at the end of every stream, and you could literally do the same thing. And then that way you would get mass adoption.
That's a good idea. I'll throw it in main chat there so you both can just pull it up. So here we go.
Yeah, well, I'm in travel status right now, so it'll likely be.
Then I'll PM you, Pepe.
I just saved it to watch later. Thanks.
Thanks for taking the time, man. Pepe, I PM'd it to you as well. Thanks both of you guys and anybody else that checked it out. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
No problem. See you later.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for opening the microphone. Question: when Richard tweeted about stables, I quote, I imagine bridged-in stables would be worth more than native stables. Can I get so the bridged-in are not going to be worth 100%? The bridged-in, if I come over, the bridge opens, I bring over USDC, it's not going to be worth $1, huh?
Yes, they will.
Why do you say that?
They will. Look, the native stables he's referring to are the copies. Bridged in are the ones that you take over the bridge. They will be 100% 1-to-1. But the ones that are copied and appear over on the other side may not be 0, but they won't be worth the same as the bridged in assets.
Totally get that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's what he meant.
Okay. Want to make sure. Thanks. Okay, cool. Reassuring.
It's nothing we didn't already know. Just explaining it to that one guy.
Can somebody explain to me when it comes to limit orders, how the process works by which one gets filled first, as opposed to?
I think you cut at the end. Can you repeat your question?
Actually not getting filled.
Your mic is dropping.
Right. Yeah, my question was, what's the process?
What's the process to create a limit order?
Yeah. No, not what the sorry. The question was, I'm on a train. I apologize. The question was, what's the protocol situation by when you put a limit order in, whether it gets filled or not? Like, as in, how does the order work by which a limit order gets filled or not?
Well, I'm not exactly an expert because I never really used limit orders myself on much of the HEXradio, but it mainly depends on the size of the order and on the slippage of the order. The size usually matters because if the fees are very high, then and the value of your order is small in comparison, then it might not be profitable for your order to be filled, right? So that might be one of the reasons why an order is not filled, and the other is the slippage. So if your slippage is set really low, and by your order being filled, the value you would get would make your slippage be higher, then the transaction won't go through, and so your limit order won't be filled.
Got it. Thank you for the answer. What's the automatic slippage that matches?
0.5%. 0.5% by default. And there's no perfect number because it depends on the liquidity pool size, the value of the token and the volatility at that point in time. So there's no magic slippage number that fits all situations, I guess.
Right, but if you cranked it up to say 1.5 or 2%, would if that slippage is not required, would it potentially get filled at a lower slippage?
Yes, the number there is the maximum slippage you are willing to incur, not the one you'll actually get. So it's like it sets
Okay,
the
thank you so
minimum,
much for the answer.
the minimum value you would receive, but it doesn't mean it will be the slippage you'll get. Yes. I need to go for a bit, guys. Be right back.
Tiger, you got a question or want to share something?
Hello. Yeah, I was wondering the best platform to put a limit order in to buy Hex. Is it one inch is one of them?
Yes, 1inch.io or matcha.xyz. Those two. Both are pretty much the same.
Matcha.xy. Okay, I'll figure it out.
MATCHA.
M-A.
Matcha. Japanese green tea.
M-A. Matcha. Okay, cool. I don't thank you, mate. I'll check it out now.
Hey Das, what time tomorrow is open for you to review?
Anytime you want. I'm working on the time codes and cuts and so on right now.
Nice, nice. Okay. My 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when you're waking up, probably. So sometime in my early evening, I'll
How-
see where you are.
How much time do you want to allocate? Because I might not be done by tomorrow actually with all the cutting. Depends on how much time I can
No,
still invest today. So I'm still gonna work on it for like An hour or so, then I have to get my girlfriend.
Sure. I imagine by
So
tomorrow I would have done my review, and even late at night tomorrow is fine. But for me, well, your whole day tomorrow is fine. If you get it done, great. Then we
yeah.
have Tuesday to reveal. But if
Wait,
we
what
can
time
just
is it? What time is it for you now?
right now it's 10 p.m.
Wait, I have to think. 10. Jesus Christ, that's so. When you are normally awake, that's my early morning. Ugh.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I can conform to your schedule. I just
Are you
have
sure? I mean,
HEXations.
I cannot. No,
Yeah,
I would also wake up early, but that's actually good. If I wake up early at, I don't know, 7 or 8, that's totally fine for me.
that's okay. I should have everything done by then. I'll just spend my morning and early afternoon compiling and making sure it's all correct against your latest sheet. Is yours updated, by the way? Is it the last and final version that you put out?
It's a live sheet. You
Oh,
see
okay.
everything. Yeah, it's online. It's it. I don't do it on my PC. I work live in the Google Sheet.
Right.
So whatever I'm updating, you see it immediately.
Right, but nobody else has editing rights, right? So it hasn't changed since I saw it yesterday then.
Everybody who has the link has editing rights, but nobody edited.
Okay, good. That's fine. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so when you're up tomorrow, just ping me and we'll see if we can't
Why are you
connect.
asking though? Did you download it? I'm not sure what you're getting at.
No, I opened it, which I guess that means that I did download it when I reviewed it yesterday.
No, even if you have it in your browser, it will update. If
Yes.
I edit something and you have it open in your browser, you will see the change immediately.
Okay, the last time I had it open in my browser was yesterday, not today.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like a few minor additions, like I added a timecode here and there, but
Okay, well,
not,
it'll be
not,
very efficient
not in a big way.
anyway. Yeah, let me do my review, my final review tomorrow morning to early afternoon, and ping me when you're up and online and everything's okay.
KKK.
Does anybody know of a website that will do a sell stop?
Santosh, got a question or want to share something?